Hi, welcome to the video. Use ChatGPT in the law for debt relief, debt validation letter from Debt Collection Insider. Welcome. This is Michael. I'm from Debt Collection Insider. Who am I? What do I do? It's a great question. I've been in this business for 20 plus years. In debt collection, I help companies make millions of dollars, and I just want to transfer insider knowledge to you guys. That's why I'm making this video. And what is some of the insider knowledge? Well, one is catching mistakes, right? You want to catch mistakes of the debt collection companies. So if they make a mistake, use that leverage against them. Okay, that's one thing that I suggest, and I will go through in all my videos that I make. Number two, leverage the law. You don't need to be a lawyer, but use basic knowledge, and ChatGPT can help you with understand the law. That's number two. Number three, like I said, ChatGPT. You can leverage it for law, like I said, or for communication. So know your rights, generate letters to communicate effectively. It saves you a ton of time. So let's get into it. Debt validation letter. So let's dive into this letter, okay? It is a letter that is sent to you when you first get contacted by a debt collector. They may call you first, but then they're required by law, a regulation called Regulation F that's been around for a while now. It's a very important regulation. It basically, on the right here screen, you will see a letter template that they need to follow. It doesn't have to be exactly formatted this way, but the information on this template is very important that a debt collector provides to you. So you know that now by watching this video. So if you receive a letter, an initial letter from a debt collector, and it does not have all the aspects I'm going to go through on this video today, you can catch them and dispute their mistakes that they made and hopefully get the debt voided or reduced at least, or have at least some leverage when communicating with them because they did not provide an accurate letter to you. And in future videos, I will go into the government, federal and state government sites where you can dispute or file complaints against debt collectors, okay? But that's not what this video is about. This video is about an initial response to this validation letter from a debt collector using ChatGPT help you to write it from a prompt that I will provide to you in this video description, all right? I want to make these videos simple, straightforward, step by step. I'm not going to dive too deep into the entire debt collection or debt credit world. I'm just giving you guys practical, quick information that you can leverage right away in your lives to make your lives better, all right? Because like I said before, 20 plus years of working to get the most out of people, I want to give back, okay? So here we go. So this is the letter on the right. On the upper left corner is the debt collection company's information. On the right side is your information. And this could be like an internal reference number, but basically it has to announce who they are. So this is North South Group. They're the debt collector. And who are they collecting on behalf of? So they're collecting on the behalf of Bank of Rockville. So this information right here needs to be in every letter. Number two or three, if you want to call it. This is where the original creditor information is. So this, you had a credit card with Chase Bank. This one says Main Street. This is just an example letter. Bank of Rockville. This is the original creditor. All right, so these three, this name, Bank of Rockville, and this name don't need necessarily be the same because the current creditor may have purchased it from the bank. So this could be some other financial company who's like a debt buyer, okay? But they need to put the original credit information in here to say, so you know, okay, yeah, this is a credit card I had 5 years ago, I forgot about, or I had fraud or whatever, okay? So the next important step, and this is the most important section coming up, is your balance owed. Now you see here they have a date January 2nd. Well, what is that date? Well, not to get too complicated, but that date can be a series of different dates. It can be a last payment date, another date called charge off date, which basically is the date the original creditor wrote off your balance. So, or it could be other dates that they decide. But whatever that date is, it has to be accurate. That's the date. Um, and you can find out and ask them what that date represents. But basically, if you can determine that you know what your balance is from your bank statements, or if you have credit card statements from Bank of Rockville, for example, and you can figure out, okay, this is not this the balance as of that date. That's one mistake you can catch. But any transactions that happen after that date, they have to itemize it. So they'll give you, they have to itemize it with the interest, fees, and any credits, which can be payments or if they credit you your balance. If any of these itemized balances are wrong, you can leverage that and go after them for that. And that means then obviously your total balance is incorrect. So if this is a spot that's very hard for debt collectors to get right, especially depending on how good they are managing their numbers and systems and getting information from other companies that they are working for, right? Sometimes your debt may bounce from one, two, three different companies, right? So when that happens, errors happen. Leverage their mistakes. All right. Every letter should have a section about how can you dispute a debt. It should have all this, how you can contact them. All right. If it doesn't, they're violating the law. What else can you do? This section also needs to be in there, and where you can file complaints like cfpb.gov. That has to be in there as well. If it's not, they're violating Regulation F. Down below is where you should mail it to and how you can respond. This is also required. All right. I want to dispute the debt because I think this is not my debt. The amount is wrong. Other, and depending on your case, you can select whatever you want when responding. But when responding, I wouldn't just fill this out. I would write a formal response letter. And luckily, I have a ChatGPT prompt for you in the description. And let's give an example right now and see how it goes. All right. So let's bring in ChatGPT. Oh, I already ran it. All right. So in chatgpt.com, you just go in, copy paste this prompt into the prompt section right here, ask anything, and it will generate this letter. So I'll have the section and everything where you see a bracket you need to fill in. So your name, obviously, address, your email, dates, collection agency name, which is on the letter, the address, their address information, the account number is on the letter. Debt collector's name should be on the letter. That could be the company's name. Okay, that doesn't be a person's name. Uh, the date you received the date that they have on the validation letter. All these little brackets, just fill it in. You can do this in Word, Google Docs, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Um, and then here you just got to describe what the issue was, why for your particular case, and you're referencing the law. All right, and you always like to reference the law. I always like to do that. So they know that you know about the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. Remember Regulation F? That's the regulation under this act. So they know that you know about Regulation F. Okay. Um, so you want them to complete the verification you're disputing. I'm formally requesting that you provide the following. So you're basically asking them, making them work. You want them to verify provide all the details of the itemization, that section that had the debits and the credits, okay? The original creditor information, the amounts owed. You want all that broken out. You want to then make them provide the details. Oh, they don't want to do that. Believe me, I have to do that in my job, and I don't like it. Documentation of the debt's origin. So basically, if it has moved from the original to a different creditor, you want to see all the agreements and the contracts and any records proving that. Again, debt collectors don't want to deal with that. They just want to collect the debt from you. Um, And then if you stated there was an error identified above, you're requesting that they void the debt. This is a moment where you're saying is like, this letter is wrong. You're violating Regulation F. I want you to void this debt. Or you can say, correct the discrepancy before any other collections actions are pursued. Now, you might want to just go for it and say, I want you to void this debt, and you can take out this section. But most likely, they will send you a correction letter um, um, anyway instead of voiding it. But maybe for your first attempt, you just want to try to say void and take this section out. Or if they didn't void it, you want them to correct it. So it's really up to you if you want to use this section and or both, okay? Feel free to edit this. This is just a template. This template is also referencing the law again. And furthermore, I require written confirmation that the matter has been resolved. And you know, so this is basically just summarizing the end. And you want to make sure that they're documenting this, okay? And you really want to use this because in writing, you want stuff in writing. They're supposed to record the calls, yes, but having stuff in writing will really help you in case this goes on and on and on, particularly if you're going to fight and you're going to fight hard. But if you want to negotiate, you want to settle, anytime you have more documentation, the better. All right. So you take this, you can send it. You can send it certified to be safe. Send it to the letter that's on the validation notice. To the address that's on the validation notice, and that's your first step. And they will need to respond back to you. And when they do, if they don't have all the information you requested, we could talk about that in future videos, okay? So that is the debt validation letter, and use ChatGPT to leverage it. Thank you so much. This is Michael from Debt Collection Insider. Have a good one.